Baez. Wow!
Oh, you got to be kidding me! You've got to be
They
kidding me!
stole a run. You have got to be kidding me. Javi Baez.
Keep going! Go!
Both check away, and now the counter. Here come the Caps. Kuznetsov gets loose. Evgeny coming down the middle. A shot, and it comes in over. He scores! He scores!
And they start with a horrible snap all the way back to the 2-yard line, and the Browns bounce it into the end zone where they wind up with a touchdown. Of all crazy things, you don't go in the playoffs for 18 years, and that is the way it starts in the first 14 seconds.
Welcome to another live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studio on the second day of summer. Beautiful Pittsburgh weather. Hopefully you're turning in to watch our show. We've been doing this for almost 15 years. Got a few months ago to October 11th. Started in 2011. So Smokin' Jim's one of the originals. The other guys, you'll find out who they are shortly, and you can tell who he is by what he bought out of the car in the trunk today. Hey, we've been doing this long time on Verizon Channel 32 in Bethel Park in the greater Pittsburgh area. We appreciate all of you tuning in on TV.
Your guns is looking good on TV, buddy.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, buddy.
Sun's out there.
I appreciate that. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 21, only in Bethel Park. That's just how it is. Thanks for being on Facebook. My phone died today. I was busy and then got my hair cut. Azazu Riley helped assist Emilio, and I'm going to have her as a guest on July 22nd. You'll meet Riley from Azazu. She actually works on hair, does the shampooing, and even cuts some hair. So she offered to be on there. She was a champion volleyball player. We'll find out where and when. So that's a little tease for the Talking Machine show. Smokin' Jim's interested in two things: woman and sports. So we're good there. And then thanks for watching us on YouTube. We got 493 subscribers. Please subscribe. I can't check on you today. My phone's dead. And I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. Smokin' Jim Frazier, Mike Rohde, Steve Crisanti, and my best friend, Smokin' Jim. Believe it or not, I pick on him every week because he makes it easy. And I've never had this happen before on a birthday. And it worked out perfectly that my birthday is next week on June 30th. That's my official birthday. For about 10 years, Smokin' Jim thought October 11th was my birthday because that's when we started the show. And if you look at the film over the years, he said, "Machine, you're the only guy that has two birthdays." Well, he got, I got to try to pick this up. He got a nice cake for me. And I told Mike Rohde, he's my straight guy today, I said, "Look what I got. This is the first time this ever happened." He read it because he's unlike Smokin' Jim. He's a graduate. No, I think he graduated college. He never confirmed that. And he said, "Happy birthday." Then I'm looking at him, and I go, "What's it say?" He's a straight guy. He goes, "Whose birthday is it?"
I just walked in. How did I know?
We didn't even say it was my birthday.
I still don't know whose birthday it is. Am I missing something?
I'm going to announce 10 seconds. 9, 8. All right. On June 30th, I was born 1956. You can do the math. Some people said, "Don't say your age. You're not that old." Well, I am. And June 30th is my official birthday. So on the calendar, my son and I were talking because my daughter's going to take me to my birthday dinner, and my son, they go, "We can't do it on Tuesday night because you got Sportsline." I said, "Yeah, Smokin' Jim will bring in a cake." So they're taking me to Monterey Bay on Sunday, the 28th, and they know my birthday's on the 30th, but we're celebrating then. So I go, "Smokin' Jim, what happened?" He gave up 5, 6, 7 different excuses. Then he brought in 2 bags of paper towels. He got plates here, there. He got knives, forks, and spoons. Then Smokin' Jim, here's the pre-show. He goes, because of Steve, he brings everything in when we want to eat cookies and all that. I'm doing it. Steve didn't bring up 1/10 of what we have here today. So, in other words, when the first year we were here, he'd go, I'm an honest man. I debunked that many, many moons ago. So, Mike, Rhodey, this is Alan Levine, the Talking Machine's official birthday cake from Smokin' Jim Frazier. Thank you, Smokin' Jim.
Happy birthday.
I appreciate it. We have a tradition. We cut cake, and they give me the honor, and I'll start doing the best I can. We'll get Smokin' Jim a corner, and I'll give everybody a piece of cake if they don't want it. Like Mike, he don't have to because he watches his figure.
Send me down the fork.
I'll get the fork out of here. There's a fork for you.
Thank you, brother.
Steve, like this?
That's fine.
All right. And he didn't get white icing for the first time on my birthday. You know what happens when you procrastinate so late that they're closing in 5 minutes?
There was a crash on the parkway.
There always is. Steve, the tradition continues. Manja, manja. Mike, you good?
I'm good, thank you.
You don't want it?
No, thank you.
All right. Eric, you want a piece?
Hell yeah, I do. I can get this way from drinking water.
You look like a very svelte young man.
Nina probably wants one in the lobby, too.
Well, we'll get Nina. Does she want a bite?
You kidding? She'll eat anything.
Really? Then it's Smokin' Jim bought it, so
Heck yeah.
give Nina, this one's hers.
Thank you so much.
All righty.
And I like my icing,
Thanks.
so I'll give a, whoa, who would think?
So no one's going to sing happy birthday?
Not unless you want to, Eric.
Well,
Eric, happy birthday. It's all for fun. There's paper towels. Did Smokin' Jim get one? Eric, you need one.
Oh, you got us a little stack there.
And only get one sheet.
We noticed
All
your
right,
stack.
Steve, then me. I like my icing. I don't usually eat sugar anymore, but in this case, I'll make an exception. Look at that. We got icing, baby. Whoa.
Yeah, you got the piece with the absolute most icing.
Ah. When it's your birthday, don't get anything on your shirt or the muscles.
Indulge. There you go.
oh, Jim, that's delicious.
Got a little bit on your beard. There you
I don't have a beard. It's a
Where'd you
Fu
get it from?
Manchu.
go. Giant Eagle.
Oh,
Oh, I gotta.
Delicious. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me take a bite on live TV. People enjoy this.
Mmm.
Delicious.
Thank you.
I
Thank
thought it'd be
you.
more like a wedding where Steve would kind of shove it right in your face.
All right, we got to do a little promos. Let me try to swallow. I got so much stuff back there. We got to move all this around. I got 2 promos that I got to talk about and promote. Man, I can't resist that icing. Whoa. All right, we're ready to go with Eric.
You want me to hold them up so you can eat your cake?
No.
Okay.
Can you adjust Mike's? His voice is booming. He sounds like he's outside of the studio. Yeah, but it shouldn't be that loud in there. All right, where are you going to be on camera?
You want to do it here?
Yeah. I've been promoting this now for 2 weeks, 3rd week. July 24th, Friday the 24th, 5 to 7. Opening night reception for Bethel Park Art and Music Festival. For 3 years now, we've done the Bethel Park Art and Music Festival on a Saturday. It'll be the 25th this year. We've got over a dozen food trucks, 100 artist booths. We got 6 bands at the community center, 6 bands at the Historical Society that I booked. So I created the opening night reception for the Bethel Park Art and Music Festival, the opening night at the community center, 5151 Park Avenue. Come on out there, you're invited. It's hosted by Al Levine, the Talking Machine, and vocalist Jessica Lee and friends. The BP Art and Music Festival celebrates local creativity for the kickoff of America 250. It brings together community members of all ages and spotlights the incredible artistic talent in our area. I'm going to be interviewing with a Jessica Lee show called By Request. We've done over 50 of them on BP TV. I'll be the MC that night. I was asked to MC and then host the event. So I'll be interviewing these paintings that are Bethel Park themes by Linda Bonacourt, a premier artist in the area. Maria DeSimone Prasak, I do a painting show. Maria's Ideas teaches us to paint. Jono Prasak, too, great artist here locally, has paintings. Right here is Jono's painting. He puts sand in every painting, Monongahela sand. Then we have Howard, another artist, Howard, will be there. I'll interview him. And I'm inviting people to come out there. They're going to sell prints of their paintings, and we've given out over $1 million to local groups in our Bethel Park area. And we're going to do it again, and this helps build our funds up for that. And it'll be an incredible artistic talents that see this. And join us for the special opening night reception to kick off the event. Again, it's free parking there. It's a free night. We're going to have music all night, and there's rumors that we may have some food and drinks there too. So stay tuned for that. We'll keep announcing this. But again, mark your calendars, Friday, July 24th, 5 to 7. On your way home from work, just come up to the community center. Look for Smokin' Jim in the parking lot on a video call. Then August 29th, we have Saturday, August 29th, 6 p.m. The new Bethel Park Elementary School was open then, 5655 King School Road. It's only a few minutes away from here. All the elementary schools have been closed, so that's our new school. It's high tech. When you see it, it'll blow your mind with how great it is. And this opening gala, it benefits the Bethel Park Education Foundation. It's a 501c3. Smokin' Jim learned about it because he doesn't work for one. I did work for a couple, and I'm a trustee on the Bethel Park Community Foundation, which is a 501c3.
My man Mike said to tell you hi. Seen him at Chattanooga.
Oh, okay. Tell him I said hello back.
Okay.
Dinner and entertainment and adventure is there. Join us for a special evening to celebrate the beginning of a new adventure in Bethel Park Schools. It will be amazing. Tickets are $75, formal attire, $100 add-on for a passport to adventure. Tickets available at Handy Andy's EV Hardware, BP Public Library, and the School District Admin Building. Cash or check only. And they volunteer me. I'm legendary as the 50-50 raffle ticket guy. I didn't want to wear a black tie tux, so I bought my own black tie tuxedo t-shirt. It came in the mail the other day and it fits. So I'll be wearing that to sell 50-50 tickets again. August 29th, 2026, 6 p.m. Let's see the rest of the promos. Please support our promos. Thank you.
This is Elle Stravic with your Bethel Park Minute. The Bethel Park Farmers Market takes place every Tuesday from 3 to 7 p.m. on Corrigan Drive in South Park, right next to the ice rink. The Bethel Park Splash Park is open daily from 11 to 6 throughout the season. You can purchase all passes at the Bethel Park Community Center. Pavilion and park rentals are also available. The Summer Spectacular Fireworks display will take place on Saturday starting at 9:40 p.m. The fireworks will be launched from Millennium Park, and you can check Bethel Park socials for a list of viewing locations and attending vendors. You won't want to miss it. Bethel Park reminds you that all emergency dispatch will be transferred to Allegheny County Emergency Services starting on July 13th. Please dial 911 for any emergency. This has been Elle Stravic with your Bethel Park Minute. Dave, we went viral.
Stay back. I don't want to get sick.
No, you're not hearing me. Our post has gone viral.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying is our shorts are doing really well.
They are really stylish.
The I'm talking about our social media shorts. They're a great way for us to share content with the residents of Bethel Park.
So you're telling me we do more than just make amazing TV shows?
Yes, Dave, that's why we're called the Media Services Department.
So we're not just BPTV anymore?
No, the website, video coverage, social media, we do it all.
This reminds me of the time I learned that TikTok doesn't tell time.
There's hope for you yet.
Frank Fanera, owner of Olive Oil's Pizzeria in the Hillcrest Shopping Center on Route 88. Call them at 412-831-1900. Every Tuesday night, Olive Oil's Pizzeria provides the host and the amazing volunteer crew with an XL pepperoni pizza and a full steak hoagie. They are delicious. Olive Oils is proud to support Pittsburgh Sportsline and the volunteers at BPTV. Stay Joey strong. Joey Fabus died at 8 years old of brain cancer known as DIPG. Since then, the family has come together with community members to create the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit. Since being founded, they've raised over $100,000. Go to jfccf.org to learn more about DIPG, to help spread awareness, and to see how else you can support and donate towards the fight against this dreaded brain cancer. Always Be Smiling, a 501c3 designed to help children and families in need of kidney transplants. The B stands for Bennett, whose memory is embedded in this organization by his parents, Kristen and Dean. Despite the challenges he faced in his 16 and a half years of life, Bennett always had a smile on his face and spread kindness to everyone he could. Now, Always Be Smiling wants to pass on that kindness. Go to alwaysbesmiling.org to learn more and see how you can support or donate to this organization. The Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you. I'm Al Levine, trustee on the board of this great organization. The BPCF focuses on raising money to provide scholarships, grants, endowments, and more. Grant requests are available online from $100 to $5,000. You can also attend fundraisers or donate. Go to bpcf.org to get more information and to stay up to date on upcoming events. The Bethel Park Community Foundation, focusing community resources, building for the future. The Bethel Park Historical Society is a 501c3 that serves Bethel Park. The Historical Society operates out of the Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, located at 2600 South Park Road. Look for the red and white trolley right out front. Reginald's Coffee is inside, and I've heard it's the best coffee around. To visit this great historical venue, email historicalsocietybp@gmail.com. Our promos and watching us eat cake. Thank you, Smokin' Jim. That's the best non-birthday name cake I've ever had in my life. A week early, too. It's a week early, so thank you very much, best friend. I appreciate it. What's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green, you got to see Levine. These things are so hard to find. Come on.
Is it any good on cake?
No, hot dogs.
Okay, gotcha.
Al Levine, the talking machine. I tell you what, everybody knows that knows me, knows my favorite team of all time is the Pittsburgh Passion. But now my new favorite team may be the Washington Wild Things. I can't wait to get out there on BPTV night on August 6th, and I'm so excited about that Al Levine, the talking machine. I'm showing off a little bit because you know me and Nick Callis, we are Yankee fans, and the Yankees are.
Who are you
in
talking
first
about?
Place.
Who'd you mention?
And the Yankees are in first place.
I don't know who that gentleman
my
was.
second favorite team, the Pittsburgh Pirates, are like a game out of last place. Al Levine, the Taco Machine. I tell you what, I took heat on this show, even from my man Chip, who is usually kind of fair-minded. I know he's a Pirate fan, but I was the first one in the media to say, why is Henry Davis still in the lineup and on the team? And Chip came with, well, he just hit a home run to win the game. Al Levine, the Taco Machine, the guy got 18 hits on the season. He's been a total bust.
Well, he hits a home run 1 out of every 9 hits.
He's Jarvis,
I can do math.
He's Jarvis, Too Slow Jones, and Huey Richardson rolled up into one. But Al Levine, the Taco Machine, finally, I'm disappointed in the National Football League.
How do we go to baseball?
They're taking attacks on young men, 19, 20, 21. The NFL's in bed with these casinos and gambling sites.
Did you just notice?
Somebody that admitted that they gambled, is getting help. The National Football League just ended his career. He can no longer play NCAA football. Every team in the NFL was coming to his pro day, including the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brandon Sorsby, if I was talking to him right now and I tell him, learn how to love Canadian bacon and go to the CFL and play ball there, maybe you can come back to the NFL. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Nothing you can do. You're not going to get drafted after sitting out a year, although he could have been a first-round draft choice for the Steelers in a supplemental draft.
Why don't you just drive him up there then?
Isn't it funny how
I'm not a jitney.
I'm not saying I necessarily agree with this, but they talk about how it's a sickness. You know, there is like therapists. There is like a prescribed, you know, I don't want to say cure, but
there's a therapeutic help,
right,
yeah,
for it.
Smoking Jim refused.
And yet, right, and the NFL, you know, they're sponsored by, the last 30 seconds of the NFL's life was sponsored by MGM Grand, right? Who's a proud partner of the NFL, you know, and yet they're nailing this kid. I agree with you. I get it. I understand why they're doing it, because that's the cardinal sin. That's the Pete Rose sin. I understand it. But, you know, if it's so blatantly over the top hypocritical, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Thank you, Mike.
I agree with you.
Well, to me, it's no surprise when you outlaw gambling and 90% of your money is from all these online gambling.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen? You can't even say they're in bed together. They're in the bank together. When you're making that type of money, that's what happens. And whether it's a disease or not, it could be treated. How many people do you know recover from gambling addiction?
This cake is so good, it's almost like they made it specially made for you.
Yeah, without my name on it.
I know, it's a slippery slope, right? You know, the whole thing with the NFL and gambling and people who, because, you know, theoretically they can do what we know has probably happened, is throw a game.
Does this surprise you? Does
what?
this surprise you that this is
No.
where we're
It doesn't
at?
surprise me that, but I agree completely with Jim.
So do I.
This is a little bit of a smokescreen.
It's
for the NFL
rare,
to
but
save
let me
face.
make it
If he's got
unanimous.
talent, he'd be playing in the NFL.
I mean,
Yeah, let me
you
make
know.
it unanimous. We all agree with Smoking Jim that it's not fair. And as a little no disclaimer, but he's a degenerate gambler that has to gamble. So that's like, you know, they used to have different
I can
sayings about
stop
that.
anytime I want to.
And guess what? When's the last time you bet?
Yesterday.
Okay. He's a great straight man. Smoking Jim, good points, but the logic behind it is very flawed since you brought it up. Just had to mention that. And you couldn't be a counselor to him. You know that. So when you suggest he should go to the Canadian Football League, do you think anybody else might have told him that?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, at least you're honest right now.
I just thought of something very, very scary.
Go ahead.
We got to keep Fast Willie Schmidt and him from ever meeting, because that'll be scary, because he loves to gamble
There
too.
you go.
Oh,
You might.
Only sports bet.
oh no, that's Fast Bill's his name. I call him Fast Willie Schmidt.
That's his buddy and partner.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on. Mike Rohde, Glad you're feeling better to come on the show tonight. I know you had plenty of time to get your information out there, not like the last couple times we slipped you in there.
Yeah. Well, there's not a lot going on, is there? Right?
No.
I mean, we're in between Steelers camps, right? We've
Get
got
the puck out of here.
The
and
Penguins
football.
just got sold. You know that. You know, say what you
Hoffman.
want about that Boston group. You know, they doubled their money in 9 years, so you know they know what they're doing.
Well, they kept the core, which is another useless record like Tomlin's non-losing streak. 19 years for 3 players to be on a team together.
Well, look, sins of the past are what they are. They got this new ownership group has a track record of doing the right things. They've only had minor league influence so far,
right?
But it's been all positive. So
and they're out of Chicago.
So we'll see. I mean, Boston group, the Fenway group was just hands off, right? I mean, you forgot who won the team.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But what I wanted to talk about was the one sport that is going on, the Pirates. And I was, as I sat and tried to figure out what to talk about with the Pirates, I'm like, okay, all right, I've said it before. Look, they were a sub 500 team. They made a few moves. Now they're a 500 team.
Yeah.
It's progress. But what's their plan? I really would like to know like what their plan is. You know what I mean? Like, are they going to load up for Skeens? Is that as far as they're going to get? Because they don't seem to want to load up any more than that.
They didn't.
You know, I think. Look, I've said it, and you know, a lot of people think I'm out of my mind. I would trade.
Say it again.
I would trade Skeens. You could get a king's load for that guy, king's ransom for that guy.
You could think he could get 2 first-round picks.
You could get a ton of stuff. You could really set your future. But what I really wanted to focus on with the Pirates is, you know, what's the problem? Why is Reynolds having a career year? Why this? Why they seem to have, you know, positives? And we know it's the bullpen. We know it's things here, maybe some injuries. But I'll tell you what their number one problem is. They can draft. I'll give them that, right? Skeens, although Eddie Johnson used to take credit for drafting Lemieux. Like, that wasn't a very difficult. That wasn't exactly a diamond in the rough. Skeens, you know. So, you know, they drafted O'Neal Cruz. They got the Griffin. They can draft. They can't develop. They've got one guy. I went through the roster, and they've got one guy that they've really drafted and developed in a decent major leaguer, and that's Nick Gonzalez. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't develop Skeens.
And he's good, yeah.
They didn't develop Griffin. They just drafted him, and they went right to the majors. Cruz had, what, a half a season in the minors, maybe?
Yeah.
So they're not developing anybody. So, you know, I keep hearing about these, well, they don't have anybody in the minor leagues to come up and be in their bullpen.
We don't know.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why don't they? I mean, how many 5-year plans have they had over the last 50 years?
This will be the second.
Literally
one,
10
yeah,
of them
yeah.
over the past, you know.
No, but I mean with this regime.
Right, exactly. So, you know, it's amazing to me that this team simply cannot develop anyone. And I think that's the real piece that's missing because, I mean, look at a team, Miami was awful, right? These are all homegrown guys.
Right.
Washington was a joke a couple of years ago. The White Sox.
Right.
Those teams, Tampa Bay and Milwaukee do it every year. They don't bring
Right.
in big-name free agents. They may trade for a guy, but they develop those guys. Forget drafting them. Really, who drafts anybody? Anytime you see a guy's up at bat, yeah, he was drafted 4 years ago, but he's been with 6 different teams.
Yeah.
Drafting doesn't mean anything. It's developing, right? And the Pirates don't do it. So many other teams can, and that's why they're the small market teams, little small market teams that could.
Right.
That's the Pirates. That's the Pirates' Achilles heel. Is that, you know, they've got a good, in my opinion, a pretty darn good outside of the bullpen. But
Yeah.
just imagine for a minute if they had some young arms and they brought up in AAA, they could come in and plug in for these guys that can't get anybody out.
Right.
You know, they would have. I stopped counting at 8 games that they've lost because of their bullpen.
Oh yeah.
8 games.
It's much more. Yeah.
That's not saying some of those wouldn't have turned around one way or the other, but let's say 6 of them they would have
I
won.
didn't stop at 8.
They'd be 7 games over 500 right now.
Right.
You know, they'd be in the run. You know, I don't really know what they're going to do because everybody's in it now. When you got this many playoff teams, everybody's in it.
Right.
Maybe only 5-6 teams that really aren't at this point.
Right.
The trade deadline, I don't know what they do. At least half the teams are still going to be in it. Do they be buyers? Do they be sellers? It's just what's their vision, and that I don't know. That I don't know. You know what they're planning on doing.
I got to pile on with what you said. Now, Skeens, people think he's having an off year. How about he's pitching better with strikeouts and walks, but the defense behind him has been worse.
Defense has been
And then
awful.
the
Did he lose 7
bullpen.
in a row?
The
bullpen-
they haven't won. He hasn't lost 7 in a row. They haven't won in 7
Yeah.
starts, which is unbelievable.
For his,
Unbelievable.
I didn't know the difference.
And people,
well,
Skeen's
you
not
don't
pitching
know
well.
baseball. Again, as we always say, Smoking Jim doesn't know baseball. And here's the
He only
crazy,
gave up 2 runs.
the
and they
crazy
lost.
part about it, with what he's averaging in runs, and we're one of the 5th best offensive teams,
Yeah.
averaging over 4 runs,
Right.
except when Skeens pitches. So he's pitching better with his pitch count, with his walks are down, his strikeouts are up. Imagine you have the best pitcher in the league, and he's doing better, and he can't win a game.
It's
Fifth
amazing.
best offense, and they're 1 game out of last
Yeah,
place.
that's what I was talking about before. Like, what's not adding up here?
Here's what it is.
Because on paper, they probably should be better.
No, here's what it
So-
is. When you watch certain plays, Smoking Jim doesn't understand it, but with fielding, when you're missing an easy catch or you're misreading a fly ball, guess what that adds? 1 to 4 runs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look in the outfield. Smoking Jim doesn't get it because he never caught a fly ball. I mean, I know because how he talks about it. You learn, you play baseball. When you go out there, they tell you have 2 hands. You got guys running 1 hand, barely getting there and running 50 feet diving. Guess what? Run to the ball. You have all that. Some are making good plays, but when you make 2 out of 10 good plays, you've lost 8 games.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
And that's part of what happened is their infrastructure isn't that good. Their hitting is much better, and their averages, are definitely much better, except for Davis, of course. But
Yeah, he's another one. They drafted him, couldn't develop him.
number 1 pick.
Number 1 overall pick. But again, and all these things, everything we've just talked about for the Pirates, I took a look around, and in my opinion, it's the lack of being able to develop players.
Yeah, but
Pure
you
and
know
simple.
who else does
Pure and
that?
simple.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, it's a different model completely, right? Because you don't have a minor league teams. You don't have minor
Except
league teams.
when you get kids
So-
from championship football teams and good programs.
Well, that is their minor leagues,
And,
college.
and you
right?
don't see them getting better because Smoking Jim said we had a coffee boy as an offensive coordinator and line coach. They're coffee boys. How do they coach them? Then you went with the Tomlin theme, move everybody to different players so they're flexible. Guess what? Left-handed and right-handed is different.
Broderick Jones is a perfect example.
Yeah, he
They
ruined
him.
his career.
Ruined him.
And
Yeah.
it's getting to be traditional here, except look at the Penguins. They coached up players. How do you get an 18-year-old Ben Kindle played like a 28-year-old?
It's a good point.
That's why I'm bringing him up.
I miss GMJR, right? Because they probably would have got Kachuk if not for that. You know what I mean? He's the kind of guy that was always in the mix for those kind of things.
Can
where
you
this,
imagine?
but this new regime is into the draft and development.
Yeah.
And it's very opposite.
I'm hopeful,
The
yeah.
Penguins never saw a number 1 draft pick they liked under the last couple of GMs, right?
Yeah.
It was always, it was stack it up for these core players that
Right.
somehow are still here. But they're very different models in every sport. In baseball, more than anything, is where you have to develop. You have to develop. It's scout and develop. And that's the piece they just have completely failed.
Well, I agree with you 100% because in my career, I became a better pitcher and even a great pitcher because I had good coaches.
Sure.
I had people teaching me footwork and techniques. Tell me when you've seen Pirate pitchers come out.
That's my point.
And they're talking like this, and then he goes and walks 3 more guys, and they give up 5 runs. I mean, if you wanted to see something that's humorous, I mean, when you talk to somebody, if my dad yelled at me, what are you throwing a ball and not striking that kid out? I'm striking the next guy out. I didn't want to get yelled at anymore. And I was able to do it. But these guys have the talent. That's the bad part about it.
Sure.
Who has more talent than Skeens? And he's actually playing better with no results. Yeah. Like my son Drew was saying, do you think Skeens is saying, hey, just get rid of me next year? Just trade me because I can't live. I can't live with
how
this.
How disinterested he is in being here.
Right. No, Drew said that the other night.
Everybody's saying how stoic he is. I'm reading that as I can't wait to
Well, look at when he looks, and he's like, they miss a ball, make an error, and he's down 3-0.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Anyway.
All right,
That's
we beat that dead horse. Steve, what do you got to boost us up? Anything?
Well, what I wanted to bring up was something I was read about and listened to on the radio. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with Pro Football Talk.
No.
Mike Florio.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with them, but yeah, I don't follow it a lot.
He was on there, and basically they were talking about Kevin Colbert.
Whoa.
And Kevin Colbert said, there's actual audio, it basically said that, talking about the draft of Kenny Pickett. And he actually said that, well, I still think he's a good quarterback, meaning he could still.
Today he said that.
Basically. And kind of alluded to bringing up Sam Darnold, like as if he's going to do. That's a one-off. Sam Darnold is a one-off, okay?
And he did it twice, three times.
I mean, really. Don't tell me Kenny Pickett's going to do what he did.
Right.
So, in other words, what he's basically saying, that if he could go back in time, he would still draft him, knowing what he knows now. This is why they have fallen so far.
Yes, sir.
If you go back from 2010 on and you look at all those drafts and you see how many players they failed.
Yes, sir.
They weren't,
He's been saying it every year, D-.
I mean, occasionally you got a DeCastro, you got a T.J. Watt, you got some receivers here and there. But for the most part, this is why they got terrible drafting players.
Yes, sir.
And it's Colbert and Tomlin. But for Colbert to get on TV or whatever that was. That show, one of those shows, and say what he said about Pickett, that just tells me that you're blind.
You're out of touch.
And you are out of touch.
Yeah,
because
you're totally.
To sit there and say that this guy, he is no more than a backup quarterback, and he's not a good backup quarterback either.
Right. He hasn't been.
And comparing him to Sam Darnold, well, Sam Darnold coming out of USC was the second pick in the draft that year. I believe, what's his name? Cleveland took, I can't think of the name.
Baker.
Baker. And
Smoking Jim's guy.
And there were a few other guys drafted in the first round that year, too. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, what did we have the year they took Pickett? It was the worst quarterback draft in a decade at least.
Yeah,
okay?
about 12 years.
He was picked number 21. All the rest of them in there stunk. I don't want to hear that the kid from Liberty that he's going to do something in Miami. That ain't happening. I mean,
they're hopeful there.
They're hopeful, but but yeah, it boggles my mind, and that is the reason why we are in the situation we are in today.
Yeah.
Okay, you stay around 500, you get into the playoffs, you get your butt handed to you every year. Okay. And you're happy with that. That's, ownership's happy with that.
You couldn't have said it any better than that. Yeah. Well, I stand on a record. You can check our film. I was the only guy in Pittsburgh media every week saying, don't draft him because you didn't draft Marino. And I believe the Steelers will fall for it. Yeah. And I had everybody in Bethel Park who went to Pitt or whatever said I was wrong. I've heard crickets from all of them.
They all bought into the hype on that guy back then. It was, he went to Pitt. Oh, yeah. And
No, he beat Danny Marino's record. I was on the show. I said it took 5 years that he did in 3. Yeah. So when we do simple math, Gateway don't understand. 3 years is less than 5. If you get more than what you had in 3, you had 5 years opportunity where Marino only had 3. I rest my case. No, but your points are all well taken and were spoken about then. And it was no surprise to me how they handled it was. And then Smoking Jim, his hero is Duck Hodges. Now he married that Janie or something. That's the best thing he did in his life. Smoking Jim said he left with a winning record. And I said, why didn't one other team even have him on a roster for one play?
Well, he had no arm. He couldn't throw.
Thank you. Not according to Smoking.
No, he had zero. He could. Teams played. They came up a lot closer to the line of scrimmage. They knew he couldn't get the ball deep. I mean, he was accurate within a certain distance, but that was about it.
3.4 yards.
So
That's what I measured out there. I wrote that in my brain. No, good points there. What's on my mind, I don't watch soccer, so people criticize me all the time. So Argentina's popping up. Messi's got 5 goals in 2 games, and at his age, it's unbelievable what he's doing. So Argentina, who knows what they're going to do? A whole country's all supporting this guy. And he's still doing it. I give him credit there after all these years. He can still get that ball in the net. And I watched a couple replays and all that. At his age, he's playing better than kids half his age. So I give them all credit just because they run. In America, we're basically lazy. We don't run about anything except our mouths. And but I just enjoyed seeing soccer doing so well, and the American team won a couple games, so that's good. So we'll just see what the World Cup is. Smoking Jim will find out when he gets a little thing on his iPhone about the World Cup, because he don't even know what I was talking about here. But
I don't either.
I understand. Well, that's why he's raging, and we'll get to that in a minute. But that's my little short, what's on your mind. And here's the thing. I'll put it out there. Chip brings it up all the time. If you thought we were at 500 when the football season did OTAs, would that be a good season for the Pirates? Yes. So it's already a good season no matter what they do. They overreached what they normally do when football season starts. And now the real, preseason will be starting, so Smoking Jim will get out Pirate gear again. So we'll hear how many they lose in a row. But no, thanks for putting up with me.
Hey, Al, real quick.
Yeah,
I watched a little bit of a soccer match this past weekend. I
What'd
saw
you
him
see?
kicking the ball around for a half an hour. I
Yeah.
thought they were warming up. Turns out that was the first half.
Well, yours is funny, but I tell the story during the last Olympics with soccer. I was painting a bathroom, and I always said I'd rather watch paint dry. My bathroom's like 6 by 4, 7, whatever, ceilings. You don't have to paint where the shower's at. So I started to paint it, and then soccer's on. I watched the first 3-4 minutes, and they scored 3 goals. I said, wow. I went and painted, watched the thing, watched 90 minutes, right? 90 minutes. It was still 3-0.
Your eyes kept being drawn towards the paint.
Yeah. No, it was. I never left the paint. I didn't watch any of that, so I just saw the final score. So I appreciate what you're saying. All right, fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac, 10 seconds.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And I tell you, Al Levine, the talking machine, you might not get this, but I think Steve, Mike, and Eric will get this.
Are you finally picking on me?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
It sounds like it.
You're a genius.
It sounds now you're double picking on me.
Yes, I'm just a common man.
Where are you from?
Steve and Mike, when you think of Mean Joe Green, you think of Pittsburgh. Terry Bradshaw, whose number should be retired, like Steve said, Pittsburgh. Jack Lambert, Pittsburgh. T.J. Watt, Pittsburgh. You look at Roberto Clemente, Mazeroski, Willie Stargell, Pittsburgh. Even if you go to Pitt, you look at Darrelle Revis, he ain't Pittsburgh. You look at Chris Dolman, he ain't Pittsburgh, but Mike Dick is Pittsburgh. Even Tony Dorsett's not Pittsburgh. So everybody.
Oh, do you hate Aliquippa?
No,
Okay.
I'm just giving examples.
Do you really like him?
Larry Fitzgerald wasn't Pittsburgh. But Dan Marino, you hear Dan Marino, that's Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett's not Pittsburgh. So what I'm saying is everybody that plays for the teams that we love are not looked at as Pittsburgh people and can be traded. And that's what I look at Paul Skeens. I never viewed Paul Skeens as a Pittsburgh guy. There's no reason for the Pirates to have the pitching staff that they have and have an opportunity to get wealth back with a trade, not to trade him. I don't know if you noticed, but I had seats on the field a couple of weeks ago at the Power game. I was 3 feet away from Paul Skeens.
Were they free tickets?
He never even looked at the kids wanting autographs. He there's nothing about Paul Skeens that I say this guy is the Bill Mazeroski, the Roberto Clemente. No, it's time to trade him. I love him, talented. I know he's 6 and 7, but he's great. Question over here, Al Levine talking to you.
A little thing reported in the news. He went to see a Little League game. He signed everybody's autograph and everybody's thing at Little League. They loved him.
When I was there.
It was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but
It's not all about you.
But the Mississippi Hillbillies signed every autograph.
No, you shouldn't. Somebody corrected you on hillbillies because
nicknames are sometimes degrading, but people know.
Oh, right. Do you remember?
Do you think that Jack Tatum liked to be called the assassin?
Yeah.
I mean, nicknames.
Yeah,
the Mad Stork. I mean,
Yeah.
the nicknames.
Well,
are
Jim,
nicknames.
look at the culture. I mentioned this a few shows ago. It's like everybody knows. Everybody here, Skeens, all the fans know he's not going to be here. That's the culture of baseball.
Yeah.
Like, so can you blame the guy? All he's looking forward to is his $70 million payroll. Isn't it funny how they put him on the council for the Major League Players Association?
Sure.
A guy who stands to make $1 billion or whatnot.
And
Why
he's
do you-
already said absolutely no
Exactly.
salary.
Oh, and he's like, it's disrespectful to all those players who sacrificed for us because they were shoeless out in the streets fighting for the rights of the baseball
Yeah, you don't
players.
want to get me started on
Yeah, exactly.
Me neither.
But
I'm a union
everybody
guy,
knows
so.
he's not going to be here. So in his mind, that's why I said it before. I have no doubt he's thinking same with his girlfriend. She's a Hollywood starlet waiting to happen. She ain't going to happen in Pittsburgh. They can't wait to get out of here and go to New York or LA.
Get something for him, right?
Exactly.
Thank you, man. I know my baby.
Sorry to jump in there.
You don't have a clue.
Why do you think some of those Pitt players don't get associated with, I mean, a lot of people sit there, and, Dolman played in Minnesota, so he went to Pitt. I think the problem for Tony Dorsett is, where did he go?
Well,
Dallas.
college players
We
are only
hate Dallas.
memorialized or if they're not good pros.
You know?
Tim Tebow is a god at Florida,
Yes, he is.
right? Guys who go out somewhere else and are pros, that's where they're known for, except for the hardcores
Yeah.
in the schools. But
Dallas, nobody even remembers him at Florida.
Well,
Right.
one note, Smoking Jim still doesn't know baseball. He still doesn't. What you're talking about is players today, like Mike has emphasized. I call them mercenaries. They're mercenaries
question.
because they're getting paid to do what they're good at here. And then guess what? What do you do with he doesn't know mercenary. We can't talk about it.
that's any job.
Yeah.
That's any job.
Well, yeah. When you work for money.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he pays money out, so he's the opposite of a mercenary. All right. Raging roadie time, 10 seconds. And if your parents are watching My iPhone Died, Nick and Peggy, I salute you. He doesn't care.
So first of all, I wanted to mention this before. I've only ever mentioned one TV show on this show ever, The Shield. Remember?
Yes.
I just finished it.
Did you really?
I loved it.
I gotta say, not sports related, but boy, I watched the season 3 opener of House of the Dragon. If anybody likes that, it was one of the most incredible hours of
I'm
television
interested in watching
that I've ever
yeah.
watched. So if anybody has not watched that,
Tell
yet,
them what it's
I highly
about, the
recommend.
theme of
It's a
it.
Game of Thrones prequel, so it happened like 100 years before the original.
He doesn't
Game of
get
Thrones
it,
show.
so yeah.
So it's pretty wild.
I
But
have
anyway,
an interest in it.
I just
Thank
had to
you.
throw that out there.
Thank you.
So I actually wanted to talk about the baseball. I have zero labor experience, right? But I'm finding this fascinating, and I really wanted to see what the opening salvo was going to be for both sides.
Yeah.
Right? And I laughed at it because I don't even think the sides that proposed their plan even want that plan. That's how insane they are. They're starting so wildly opposite. What the owners threw out is that they're going to share all their TV revenue.
Yeah.
And they're going to cap everything.
Yeah.
So the Dodgers would have to basically release Shohei Ohtani, right? Wow. And players and teams like the Pirates would have to spend like $160 million.
Yeah.
None of that. Those owners don't want that. They threw it out there to look. We want. This is for the fans. The fans deserve this. They don't care about any of that crap. And then the players come in. Like I said, I thought it was hilarious that they put Paul Skeens, a guy in his
mid-20s,
but a guy's only in his third full season.
Yeah. Early 20s.
They put him on there because they know he stands to cash in next. Yeah. They want him in there to do this. And what they threw out, the salvo they threw out, is the same thing. It's all it is more money for the players. Literally raising the minimum, taxing,
right.
Nothing out of their pockets, taxing the owners,
exactly.
the threshold, even a bigger luxury tax.
Right.
So this is fascinating to watch because they're so far apart right now on this.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to see these opening offers to see where it was going to be. And of course they called each other insulting and unrealistic and non-starters. Well, of course, neither of them want that. It's ultimately going to be rectified. We know that. Who's going to blink first?
Right.
You know what I mean? Will it be? It's not going to be the NHL Armageddon,
yeah.
but I think it's going to lean back towards ownership a little bit. I think they're going to get a little bit more what they want. I think they're prepared. They've been putting away rainy day funds for this.
Yeah.
Because they need them, or else how are their kids going to eat, Jim? So,
You mean 20 generations away?
Right, how are their cats going to eat their gold leaf fancy feast? So,
you're right, but I'll just go back. I have history, labor relations.
I know you do.
Negotiating from the age of 22, so I'm younger than Skeens and did my first contract. And I was disrespected on it, but what I learned, I read about what they would read in school, because I'm uneducated, so I'd read where they would get knowledge how to negotiate. Then I learned how to be, with like an accountant, you're in HR, so you get numbers. So I learned you had to have the numbers. Then I learned that they proposed a lot of nonsensical stuff, because they had about 4 or 5 key issues that they want, but this is all in writing.
Yeah.
And then they always said, we don't want a horse trade. We'd negotiate 6 months to a year and a half because they'd build up back pay, because when you have wages and you don't work for a while, you get back pay on the new pay raise. We had guys after 6 months, you get $1,000 back pay, and they're going to cut jobs off of you.
And
so
they're
playing anytime in the media, it's all fluff.
Well, this is not media. Like I said, I wanted to see the specifics of what the offers were.
Yeah, but I'm saying
so the media is reporting it.
No, but
it'll be interesting.
No,
they're really
that's where I take it
far apart. You said you took a year, whatever. This is only 6 months to go till the end of this. It's December 1st.
Right.
Is when it runs out.
No, but what was funny
there'll be a lockout.
Imagine we had 2 years contracts, and you wouldn't start negotiating for 6 months. We had 3-year contracts. You wouldn't negotiate for a year. So I said, let's put out all kind of crazy things. Before Martin Luther King Day, here's how crazy I got. I said, I propose we have a day off for Martin Luther King. And they go, that's crazy. Well, that was one thing you scratch off.
And that's my point.
And it's a trade-off.
It eventually will, no matter how radically far apart they are now, it ultimately will get solved. It's how long is that going to be? I think the owners are more prepared and willing to dig in.
They'll let them go. They'll let them go on strike, and that, like you said, they got a rainy day fund. They can go a few months.
But they don't. That's the thing. They don't need that revenue. Is my point.
No, my thing is they can go. Let them go on strike and be out. No football for a few months.
It'll be lockout, not a strike.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So
it could be a strike.
Eventually, it could turn in. I suppose it could turn into that theoretically, but
it depends on who wants to force it. Yeah, but to me, it's like you're on the chessboard. They're playing their pawns.
The only thing I'll say about this, and then I'll stop. What I hope happens is that if the owners do somehow get a floor and a cap, I hope it's tight like the NFL's is, because if you let it be low, there's going to be teams that are going to make it low.
Yeah.
Right? And you're going to find the Dodgers and Yankees are going to find ways to circumvent, and they're going to be this and that, and the players are going to be more than willing to give back exception like in the NBA.
You need all three. You also have to have complete revenue sharing. This is ridiculous that cities are building stadiums like here in Pittsburgh, at the taxpayers' expense. And you're telling me that we have to accept that we don't have the revenue that the Yankees and Dodgers have to compete against those teams. It's ridiculous.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
I hear you.
Well, these are all good points. We get to do a whole show on that.
We could.
I love that stuff. I was the only one that said Ayuk was the greatest negotiator playing the Steelers. And look what he got. Then he got hurt because karma comes back and gets you. Now he may not ever play. But, all right, we'll go to Steve Crisanti right now. You got 2 minutes. What do you want to put out there, and then I'll close it out.
Talking about old-time players that
bring
can
it
play
up.
today. Another name I wanted to bring up, and I'm going to watch Smoking Jim's eyes get real wide.
They will.
Marion Motley.
Oh.
Unstoppable.
Yeah, and he played both ways.
Yes, sir.
Offense and defense.
Yeah.
And anybody
That's
that
a
would
good
sit there and
name.
say that this guy wouldn't be able to play today would be out of their mind and all that. Once they got popped by him one time on defense, and once he ran a few people over, but there's another guy there that you sit there and say that guy can play today if he was around today.
Well, he was so mad that his parents named him Marion.
But I'm telling you, you know, I mean, there's so many of them. You look back, and they had the talent, they had the physicality.
Well,
and all that.
look at the drinkers that you had in sports. Like Babe Ruth's the greatest player in my book for numerous reasons. And he was a great athlete, and people only saw him when he was fat with 700 home runs. And they go, that Babe Ruth, look at him, he can't even play. He was a thin guy. And people go, how did he do? I go, in the dead ball era, when the ball didn't go far, he set a record 29 home runs, more than teams hit. And I always laughed. There was a home run Baker. He was famous in the in the majors. He had 12 home runs. He was home run Baker. Then Babe Ruth came along, 1915, and look what he did. And he got suspended from his team for drinking, playing around and everything, and still set all these records. Now athletes get all this nutrition, all this training, all this stuff they got to do. Bring Babe back and put him in the game today. Guess what? He would kill.
I mean, you know, like I said, when you see those kind of players like that, you know.
No, you got me fired up.
You know, that reminded me of a saying, I can't remember who said it, about another player. He says, someone said that Michael Jordan was the Babe Ruth of basketball, and then someone else turned around and basically said, no, Babe Ruth was the the Michael Jordan of baseball. Because Jordan was another one. You look at him, he'd go play 36 rounds of golf, drink a case of beer, smoke a bunch of cigars.
Right.
And they says, oh, he's going to have a horrible game tonight. And he goes in and drops like 50 points.
Your points are well taken. We'll carry it on for another show. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. We appreciate all of you. We might get a little carried away with cake and eating in front of you, but please stay Joey strong.